I want to make a bracket of like your most surprising teams of the wild card round. Did you expect the Vikings to get absolutely shelled like they did? Did you expect the Bills to underperform? So we got most surprising, expected, underperformed, and shouldn't even be here.
Okay, this is great. I love this. Let's put Bills in underperformed. The line was minus 16.5. And this game was literally a nail biter for every single Bills fan the entire time against a 7th round literal throwaway quarterback, Skylar Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if you call it the genius of Mike McDaniels or what you want to call this, but quite frankly, Mike McDaniels didn't even coach very well that game. It was not his most spectacular performance. The Bills significantly underperformed, but they won the game. They certainly should be there, but we're going underperformed for the Bills. Seahawks got shit on, but guess what? I'm going expected. This team was never supposed to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They did this full rebuild where you trade your franchise QB, you get a massive haul, and you're saying, okay, 3 years from now, we're going to be good. But they played amazing. Geno Smith played great. They made it to the playoffs, and they got beat by an incredible team, one of the scariest teams in the playoffs, the San Francisco 49ers. I am going to put the San Francisco 49ers, not in expected, but in most surprising. To say most surprising, not true. I think I will put multiple teams up there.
Yeah.
But the Niners dropping 41 points with Brock Purdy. It should have been 48 points because Brandon Ayuk dropped an easy one back there. Brock Purdy was a drop pass away from throwing 4 touchdowns and 350 yards, I believe was the stat line. Something insane like that.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Irrelevant, guys.
Yeah, he was at 332, 3 tutties.
332 and 3 tutties, so he would have been 350 and 4. You could say coulda, woulda, shoulda all day, but let's just call it what it was. 332 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brock Purdy is surprisingly good. It makes you think about just how good the scheme is and how much is Brock Purdy really doing. But I think, the throws that he did deliver were solid. Deebo Samuel's amazing. George Kittle's amazing. Christian McCaffrey's amazing. And you put up 41 points with Mr. Irrelevant.
Does this next game determine if he's their franchise quarterback?
What a
say they
great
go.
Question. Dude,
say
they smacked the Cowboys. They smacked the Cowboys. Yes, dude, I'm over it, and I don't know what they're gonna do over there in the 49ers office. I'm not gonna pretend like I do know, but you used a lot on Trey Lance.
Yeah.
You might have been considering getting a veteran, in free agency. That's no longer on the table with how well Brock Purdy's playing. But you're right. Dallas Cowboys is supposed to be a spectacular defense. Can Brock Purdy hold up and keep doing this?
Yeah, say they go in and get absolutely shelled. Brock Purdy throws like 100 yards and 3 interceptions.
It's Trey Lance season.
Trey Lance. Say they go
right
in
now,
and make it close. Say they make it close and Brock Purdy is like 3 tutties, but he's got like a pick, like a crucial pick, let's say.
I think Trey Lance, right now, the whole organization is telling Trey Lance that he should be the starter.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we drafted you. We've been talking about you. We love you. However, if Brock Purdy keeps playing at this level, we have to start him. You get that, right? But if Brock Purdy slips up even a little bit, I think it's Trey Lance. So even in the scenario you just mentioned, if it's a mid-game for Brock Purdy, I think they're going to go Trey Lance. It's like a culture thing. Like, Trey Lance expects to play. They drafted him to play.
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard for them to tell Trey Lance, hey, sorry, bud. Maybe you trade him if Brock Purdy's that good.
God, yeah, I was going to say it.
But I'm keeping Niners there. I think it is surprising to put up 41 with 3 passing touchdowns, over 300 passing yards for Mr. Irrelevant. That's crazy. I mean, Brock Purdy's line, like if you were going to bet player props, was 180. It was like under 180 passing yards. You fucking kidding me? Double.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It was over under half a touchdown, maybe 1.5. Crazy. The rest of the wild card teams, Jaguars. Let's just go. I'm actually going to put this at expected. Okay. I know that it was surprising the comeback they had.
Yeah.
But their first half was a significant underperformance, and their second half was most surprising. Literally 4 interceptions in the first half and literally 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in the second half.
Yeah.
They came back. They made a spectacular, miraculous comeback win, but let's not blow it out of proportion, okay? This was the most even wildcard playoff game, according to Vegas. The line might have been -1 Chargers.
Yeah, it was something right around there.
It was supposed to be a great game, and guess what? It was a great game. And the Chargers just love blowing leads, and I think that was just a cataclysmic fall apart by the coaching staff for the Chargers. They were averaging 1 yard per carry, something abysmal like that. You don't win playoff games like that. It's hard to gain a lead when you coach that poorly. I think it was a shit job by the Chargers more than it was like God tier play by the Jaguars, but I am happy for the Jaguars. I'm putting that at expected. I don't think there's anything crazy. And then there's 2 buys, which is the Chiefs and the Eagles. So we'll just kind of keep them off.
Yep.
Underperformed. I'm going to say Bengals. I think the Bengals did really underperform. I'm not going to call it a fluke because nothing in football is a fluke, right? Like, you made a great defensive stop. Tyler Huntley fumbles the ball and you take it back. At that point in the game, it is 17-17. Let's pretend the Ravens just settled for a field goal. The Bengals never scored since that. And I get you're playing more conservative because you took the lead, but you are playing one of the worst offenses in the league in the Ravens. And the Ravens almost dropped 24 on you. I know it didn't happen. You won. Congratulations. But just like the Bills, it shouldn't have been that close. You made it a nail biter when it shouldn't have been a nail biter. Bengals underperformed. Chargers significantly underperformed. I almost was thinking about putting Chargers in expected for the same reason I put the Jaguars in expected, because the Chargers had a great first half, but then had a bad second half.
Yeah.
But it's different to be up 27-0
yes.
or 24-0, whatever it was. And just start to miss all the routine things that you've been doing throughout the whole game. I think missing the routine field goal, Dicker the kicker is flying under the radar. No one's giving him shit. It's a routine 40-yarder. He shanks the fuck out of it. It would have been 33-31. The Jaguars would have had to have scored a touchdown. Maybe they do anyway.
Yeah.
But he's getting off scot-free just because there's a 24-0 lead. That's a routine field goal. The Chargers underperformed the moment they went up 24-0 and couldn't close. Okay, the Jaguars played expected just by winning. I know that logic doesn't follow all too great, but it's hard to say that the Chargers played as expected. Miami Dolphins, you know, it's kind of funny. Even though the Miami Dolphins lost and played a great game against the Bills, I think the Miami Dolphins also underperformed. I think Mike McDaniels was not on his shit. They really struggled to get plays off.
Yeah, that was a big thing I noticed. They were almost every play it was coming down to the game clock was like almost over.
And I'm sure part of that's on Skylar Thompson. Everybody's talking about Mike McDaniels and the fact that he hit a vape, which is like so weird.
I did, yeah, I saw that.
Just nonsense.
Yeah. Did you see the clip?
Is it really a vape? Was he really hitting,
No,
like,
I'm pretty
was he
sure
hitting?
it was like a Sharpie, but it's just funny. Like
It kind of looked like it,
It's
bro.
like has his hand here, and then he like puts his hand here, and he like puckers his lips
He's
for
hitting
whatever
a dab
reason.
pen
I don't
in
know
there.
if
He
he
had a
just,
dab pen in there.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know. I mean, asking Skylar Thompson to beat the Bills is a tough task. But I think more than anything, the Bills underperformed. The Dolphins had a chance to win this game. And I think they made too many mistakes. Listen, let's put it this way. If the Miami Dolphins played a great game even, I think they win. So I still think they underperformed. I think both the Dolphins and the Bills underperformed. And they were capitalizing off of each other underperforming.
Yeah,
but the Bills get the narrow victory.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm keeping the Dolphins there. Minnesota Vikings underperformed. It's like,
was that kind of expected from you though? You kind of think they're just trash, anyways, right?
The way they played defensively was expected.
Yeah.
But if you're the Vikings, you should beat the Giants. You just should. Like, I get that the Giants did. I'm going to say the Giants were surprising in how well. This is hard. I got to think about this more, actually.
I was very surprised with Daniel Jones and how well he played.
I
have not
agree.
watched him enough to know like how he typically plays.
Right.
But I did not expect that from him. I did not expect him to like actually control the game and.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make this more fair. Let's put the Giants in most surprising. I think the Giants were very surprising with how well they played, but I'm going to say Vikings was actually expected.
Yeah.
I mean, we expected the Vikings defense to get shelled. Everyone's been saying that. Their defense is not good. And you know what? Kirk Cousins did play pretty well. 275 yards,
well.
2 touchdowns, no interceptions, some questionable play calls down the line. And there's the questionable Andrew Thomas play. So I think the Giants just outperformed. They played really well, and the Vikings got shelled, as a lot of people saw. And if you're the Vikings there, you just had to put up more points. You had to put up 34 like the Bills did.
Yeah.
Like, that's not... We knew that was going to happen. The Vikings defense has been not so great. So, yeah, I guess it is expected for the Vikings. Ravens. The Ravens is almost most surprising. In fact, you almost beat the Bills. I'm going to say expected, though. This is how you expect the Ravens to play. Incredible defense, slow, meticulous offense. They made one crucial mistake that cost them the game entirely. Yep. Like, it's very rare that you can look at one play and say this lost us the game, but a 7-point swing when you're about to score, maybe even get a field goal, yeah, that lost them the game. I think they played as expected. It would have been most surprising had they won, but they didn't.
That would have been nuts.
Dallas Cowboys. I'm actually going to put in expected. I almost want to put them in most surprising, but I think this was a particularly pitiful game for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers look like shit. I'm actually going to keep the Buccaneers and shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
This is a losing record team. If you lose more games than you win, you shouldn't be in the playoffs. I get how seeding works. I get the NFC South was bad, and that's why the Buccaneers went. But if you have a losing record, you shouldn't be there. Got smacked around by the Cowboys. At one point, it was 24-0. I think the Cowboys started to let off the gas a little bit, and that's kind of where the 14 points came from. Brett Maher misses 3 PATs. Not looking good for the Maher last name.
Four in a row.
It couldn't.
4 in a row.
Oh, my God.
5 total in a row.
Oh, so like in a previous game.
Yeah, must have been the previous game before. Yeah, 4 in a row. You missed 4.